Beneath the Strait of Hormuz, hidden under layers of silt on the ocean floor, lies something almost invisible, but devastatingly real. A steel cylinder, barely 3 feet long. No radar can find it. No satellite can track it. It gives off no heat, no signal, no sound. It simply waits. Inside, a hydrophone listens, patiently, for the faint acoustic fingerprint of a ship's propeller. And the moment any vessel drifts into range, everything happens in less than 2 seconds. The system identifies the target, locks on, and fires. A solid-fuel rocket launches a 308-pound warhead upward at 260 feet per second, smashing straight through the hull from below. This is the EM-52 Rising Mine, designed by China, acquired by Iran, and right now, weapons like this sit silently beneath one of the most critical waterways on Earth, the narrow passage responsible for nearly 20% of the world's crude oil supply. But the EM-52 is only part of the story. Iran isn't relying on a single weapon. It holds an estimated stockpile of 5,000 to 6,000 naval mines, the largest inventory in the region. Bottom mines, drifting mines, contact mines, influence mines, each one built for a different kill mechanism. Some of them cost less than $1,500, cheaper than a used jet ski. Yet their impact is anything but small. In 1988, a single M08 mine detonated beneath the USS Samuel B. That one explosion ripped open a 15 to 25-foot hole in the ship's hull, snapped its keel, and flooded multiple engine rooms in seconds. 10 sailors were injured. 4 had to be airlifted to Germany with severe burns. The repair bill? $89.5 million. One cheap mine nearly destroyed a modern warship. Now imagine that same explosion beneath a supertanker carrying 2 million barrels of oil. The consequences wouldn't just be military, they'd be global. And here's the twist: the United States Navy has the technology to deal with all of it. Advanced systems no other navy in the world possesses. Helicopters that scan the ocean with laser precision. Unmanned boats hunting mines with sonar. Drones that destroy threats one by one. Entire minefields can be mapped, tricked, and eliminated without a single sailor entering the water. So why hasn't it happened yet? Why is Hormuz still a danger zone? Why are ships waiting, fuel costs rising, and global markets bleeding? Because the Navy isn't reacting to headlines, it's solving an equation. And until all variables align, those mines stay exactly where they are. To understand that equation, you need to understand the weapon. Naval mines are unlike anything else in modern warfare. They are completely passive. Missiles emit radar signatures. Drones produce heat. Submarines generate sound. Mines do none of that. They sit silently on the seabed, invisible to detection systems because they give off nothing at all. No energy, no signal, nothing to track. And that makes them terrifyingly effective. The cost imbalance alone is staggering. A $1,500 mine versus a $2 billion destroyer. That's a ratio of over 1 million to 1. No weapon in history creates such a massive economic imbalance. Something invented during the Civil War still dominates modern naval strategy. Now factor in geography. The Strait of Hormuz is 21 nautical miles wide, but shipping doesn't use all of it. Traffic is funneled into narrow lanes, 2 miles inbound, 2 miles outbound, separated by a buffer zone. 6 miles total. Iran doesn't need to mine the entire strait. It only needs to mine a thin ribbon. And then there's the final, most dangerous element, insurance. One tanker hits a mine, oil spills, flames rise, and suddenly insurers pull coverage. Companies refuse to send ships through. The strait doesn't close because of explosions. It closes because of fear. A single incident can shut down a global artery. That's the real power of naval mines. But there's another layer most people never consider, and it's what turns a dangerous situation into a global crisis overnight. Clearing mines is not just slow, it's methodical by necessity. Every square mile of water has to be scanned, classified, verified, and then neutralized. You don't rush this process. One mistake, one missed object, one false classification, and a fully loaded tanker becomes the next headline. That's why even with the most advanced technology on Earth, clearing a heavily mined corridor like Hormuz can take days, sometimes weeks, depending on density. And during that time, global markets don't wait. Oil prices spike instantly. Shipping rates surge. Supply chains begin to fracture. Countries thousands of miles away, nations that have nothing to do with the conflict, start feeling the pressure within hours. Fuel prices rise. Inflation follows. Entire economies react to a weapon sitting silently on the ocean floor. And here's the strategic reality. Mines don't need to sink dozens of ships to be effective. They only need to prove they can. One successful strike creates hesitation. Two creates panic. After that, the damage is already done. The psychological impact far outweighs the physical destruction. This is why naval mines are often called the most efficient area denial weapon ever created. They don't just attack ships, they control behavior. They force decisions. They dictate movement without ever revealing their position. And in a narrow choke point like Hormuz, where there are no alternate routes, that control becomes absolute. Every captain knows the risk. Every company calculates the cost. And every government watches closely, knowing that a single detonation could trigger a chain reaction far beyond the battlefield. This is no longer just a naval problem. It's a global pressure point, where economics, military strategy, and psychology collide beneath the surface. Iran has deployed three main types of mines, each designed for a specific role. First, contact mines. Simple, deadly spheres floating just below the surface, detonating the moment a ship touches them. Second, influence mines, smart weapons, sitting on the seabed, waiting for the exact combination of magnetic, acoustic, and pressure signatures from a large vessel. They ignore small boats and wait patiently for high-value targets. And third, the EM-52 rising mine, the most advanced of them all. A rocket-powered system that attacks from below at incredible speed. No armor protects against that. No warning comes before it fires. Three types. Thousands deployed. And every navy in the world still faces the same problem. How do you clear them safely? Right here in the middle of this story. If this is opening your eyes, drop a comment right now, proud of the USA. Because what comes next is something no other military on Earth has achieved. Instead of sending divers into deadly waters, the US Navy built a completely unmanned system. 4 technologies, 4 steps, 0 human risk. But even with all this technology, mine clearance is not a clean or instant process. It's a slow, calculated grind where every second matters. Picture this, a helicopter sweeping overhead, lasers cutting through the water, while unmanned vessels crawl across the surface below, mapping the ocean floor in real time. Every contact detected isn't immediately destroyed. It's analyzed. Is it a rock, debris, or a live explosive waiting to detonate? That decision alone can take time, because a wrong move doesn't just waste resources. It risks triggering a chain reaction. Some mines are designed to detonate if they detect tampering. Others are programmed to wait, counting ships, activating only after a specific number passes to maximize impact. This isn't just warfare, it's a deadly game of patience and precision. And then there's the environment itself. The waters of the Strait of Hormuz are not calm, clear, or predictable. Strong currents shift objects across the seabed. Silt clouds visibility. Heat layers distort sonar readings. What looks like a mine one moment can disappear the next, only to reappear meters away. Every variable adds complexity. Every layer increases risk. And while all this is happening, the clock is ticking. Not just for the Navy, but for the global economy. Tankers are waiting. Billions of dollars in cargo sits idle. Every hour costs millions. Yet the Navy cannot afford to rush, because in mine warfare, speed is the enemy of safety. One overlooked threat could undo everything. That's why this operation isn't about brute force. It's about absolute certainty. When the Navy moves, it doesn't just clear a path. It guarantees it. First, airborne laser detection. Mounted on an AN/H-60 Seahawk helicopter, the system scans the ocean using LiDAR, creating a 3D map of everything just beneath the surface. It's like a CT scan of the sea. Mines near the surface? Detected instantly. But deeper threats require something else. That's where unmanned surface vessels come in, robot boats towing advanced sonar systems across the seabed. They scan for shapes, identifying mines hidden in mud and darkness. Then comes the deception phase. Acoustic and magnetic generators mimic the signature of massive ships, tricking influence mines into detonating themselves. And for mines that refuse to take the bait, precision drones step in, delivering shaped charges that destroy targets with surgical accuracy. So if the system works, why wait? Because 3 critical variables must align. First, the source must be eliminated. There's no point clearing mines if new ones are constantly being deployed. That's why operations have focused on destroying Iranian mine-laying vessels and production facilities. Second, protection. Mine-clearing ships are vulnerable. They need a defensive shield, fighter jets, naval escorts, and Marines ready to respond to any threat. That shield is arriving in the form of a powerful amphibious assault group carrying stealth fighters and thousands of troops. And third, the economic pressure. Every single day those mines remain in the water, Iran loses millions in oil revenue. The same weapon designed to hurt others is now crippling its own economy. And when those three variables finally converge, the source eliminated, protection in place, and pressure maximized, the operation will begin. Not rushed, not reactive, but calculated, precise, on terms chosen by the United States Navy. Because this isn't just about clearing mines, it's about controlling the moment they disappear. Because here's how this story ends. Somewhere beneath those waters, the EM-52 still waits, silent, patient, ready. But unlike decades ago, the Navy no longer answers these threats with human lives. It answers with technology. With lasers from the sky, robots beneath the waves, drones that strike with precision, a system designed to ensure one thing: no sailor ever has to enter a minefield again. And when the moment comes, those mines will vanish one by one, not in chaos, but with control, precision, and overwhelming certainty. If this breakdown changed how you see modern warfare, hit like, subscribe. And before you go, drop proud of the USA in the comments.